Hello, today I'm going to be making an apple crisp with a vanilla bean collagen protein ice cream that I'm going to make in my Ninja Creami. Okay, so right now I'm going to get started on prepping my Ninja Creami ice cream. I've never tried this recipe, I guess you could say. This is just an idea that I had. So I'll give an honest taste test at the end, but I'm just going to do Greek yogurt, almond milk, collagen because I don't have my regular vanilla protein powder, and then vanilla bean paste and agave. Right now the texture is a little bit lumpy, but once I freeze it and spin it down, it'll be fine, I think. And then you can obviously see all that vanilla bean, so I think it's going to taste pretty good. To make my apple crisp, I'm going to be using Honey Crisp apples because that is the kind that my family likes. And I'm going to be using only 5 apples because that is what I have in my kitchen. They are washed and now I'm going to peel and dice. For my spices, I'm going to be doing traditional apple pie spices, of course, cinnamon, nutmeg, a tiny pinch of cloves, and a tiny pinch of ginger. You want to be very light-handed with these 2 spices. I want it to be mostly cinnamon. It smells very good. Probably put a little bit too much cloves in there. Whenever I measure my spices for baked goods, I just go based on the smell. I know that seems probably weird, but once you get used to baking, it's very easy, and that is the most accurate way. Typically, you would use brown sugar to sweeten this, but I am all out because I haven't been keeping up with restocking my pantry well enough. But luckily, I always have regular sugar and molasses, which are the only ingredients in brown sugar. So it's really no different at all. And that's a life hack for people who don't want to worry about always making sure you have the correct amount of brown sugar and dark brown versus light brown. You can just adjust it as you wish. So I'm just going to be eyeballing the measurements here again because I never measure anything. That's definitely enough. I put 4 tablespoons or regular spoons. Fun fact, I see on TikTok all the time people wanting to make chocolate chipless chocolate chip cookies. The only difference is that you would take any regular sugar cookie recipe and replace it with brown sugar, or just take out about a spoonful of the sugar that the recipe calls for and add a spoonful of molasses. The last ingredient for our filling is about half a stick of melted butter. Now transfer your filling into the dish you're going to be using to bake. And make sure you get all that filling in there. I just so happen to have made the perfect amount of filling for this baking dish. And now I'm going to put this off to the side and get started on the crumble topping. Okay, now I'm going to begin on the crumble topping. The base is going to be oats and flour. Again, I don't measure anything. I never have actually. I never even learned how to cook with measurements. I would watch YouTube videos of people cooking and they were just eyeballing it, and that's how I learned. So every time I step in the kitchen, I just wing it, and it always turns out good. So I'm gonna add both more oats and more flour. It's better to have a little bit too much than not enough, I think.
So that's why you're all dressed up.
Yeah, Wyatt already told you. My brother's irritating. Here's the texture before any butter or sugar. So it's about a 1-to-1 ratio, I'd say. The topping should contain brown sugar as well, but obviously I still don't have any, so we're gonna do the same trick again. I added a lot of sugar in the filling, so I'm only gonna do 2 spoonfuls for the top, and I think that will be plenty. Here's about half a spoon of molasses. And now I'm gonna add a little drizzle of vanilla bean paste. I do think I went slightly heavy-handed on the spices in my base, or the filling I mean, so I'm just gonna add a tiny dash of cinnamon in the topping. For the topping, I'm gonna take 1 stick of butter and cube it up really small. Well, not that small. I might not end up using the whole entire stick. I'm gonna take this half stick and mix it in and see how the texture looks. I'm actually not sure the science behind why when you make pastries or pie crust or toppings like this, you always use cold cubed butter. So if anybody knows, leave a comment down below. Maybe since I don't know, I shouldn't be making recipe tutorials, especially when I don't have a recipe and I'm just winging it. Also, I preheated my oven to 350. Is that the right temperature? We shall find out soon. It's going to need the other half of the butter. crumble, you don't mix the butter all the way in. But I am going to arrange the butter a little bit more evenly, just to make sure everything's evenly distributed. Ooh. Okay, this looks about right. I'm going to pop it in the oven for maybe half an hour and then check on it at 350. I am actually going to cover it in foil. After careful consideration, I think that will help cook the apples, because I know apple pies take a long time, and then make sure my topping doesn't burn, and then at the end I'll take the foil off and let the crumble crisp up, because it's apple crisp, so it needs to get crispy. I'm officially done making the apple crisp. I cooked it for 20 minutes with the foil on and 30 minutes with the foil off. I'm gonna wait for it to cool completely because I don't like too warm of desserts. And then I'm gonna spin down my Ninja Creamy protein ice cream and serve it up. Okay, now I'm gonna spin down my Ninja Creamy. Oh. I'm gonna put it on the light ice cream. This is the texture after one spin on the light ice setting. It's pretty good.